In this video, I am going to be looking at how to get more organised at university by talking about how to use your calendar or diary effectively. My name is Waffling Wilson and welcome to Learning at University. Hello and welcome back to this series of videos all about getting prepared for learning at university. And in this video I'm going to be talking about using a calendar or diary. And my name's Ian. I'm also known as Waffling Wilson in various circles on the internet, and I'm a senior lecturer working in the higher education sector. Now, I often have chats with students about how to stay organised, and one of the things I recommend to them to be used and to get their heads around is using a calendar or a diary effectively to help them organise their time. Now, just to remind you, this series of videos is not about what pots and pans to bring to university or how to make friends and influence people or anything like that. It's really focused on learning. And if you have any questions for me, then please do put them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them for you. Also, don't forget to either like, comment or subscribe to the channel so you get a notification when the next video goes live. Okay, so let's get down to it. How should you use your calendar to get organized? Now, one thing which you're going to become very aware of after a few weeks at university is that you are going to be more responsible for when and how you work. Learning in higher education is all about being independent, and it is important that you use your time effectively in order to ensure that you get everything done. Now, in the previous video, I talked about what to bring to university to support your learning. And if you haven't read that, then go watch it now. There'll be a card up in the top there. And in there, in that video, I talked whether or not you were a paper person or electronic person. And just to let you know that all the advice here can be applied to either a paper copy of a diary or calendar or an electronic version, so it does both of them. Okay then, first up, your timetable. Now, one thing you want to get done really early on is to make sure that you have copied or imported your academic timetable. Now, this will probably be given to you, or you'll provide a link to it once you've enrolled at university and you've got your university student ID number and email address. Now, if you're using an electronic version of organisation, then check your university in the library or their IT department, because they will provide you with information how to download your electronic academic timetable to your mobile devices. If you are using mobile devices, that make sure they're synced up so your timetable will be available on all your machines. Now, if you're using a paper version to get organized, then make sure you copy into your calendar or your diary all the important information. So make sure that you have the room number that you're going to be in, which module code it is, who your tutor is going to be, and also the start and end time. That tutor is really important because a lot of universities require you, or if not, just for being polite and professional, you know, if you're not going to be at a session, then drop that tutor a line and say, dreadfully sorry, I'm very ill at the moment, so forth and so on. Now, please also, despite having this in your devices or on your paper calendar, please make sure that you periodically check the main timetable. Now, even as a tutor, I do this because sometimes I find that rooms have changed or times have changed. So always keep up to date and put that task in your calendar, probably at the beginning of the week, to make sure that you check and to ensure that there's no alterations. So once you have your academic timetable into your calendar, the next thing that you need to do is put your other commitments in there. So that might be sports and society events, when you're going to meet friends. It could be regular sporting practices and meetings, or even if you're doing a part-time job at university, where your shifts will be and how these pan out throughout the week. So now that you've got your academic timetable and any other things events that you're going to attend in, perhaps the most important part of your organization comes when you add your learning to your calendar. Now, remember that sessions at university are only one aspect or one part of your learning, and much of your learning is going to be independent or working in groups outside those sessions. I often say to students, if you imagine when you were in further education or secondary education, you worked from 9 o'clock till say 4 o'clock and then did homework, and think about university the same. You're not going to have a lecture from 9 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You might only be in for two-hour slots, but in which case think about the rest of the time to dedicate to your learning, dedicating to increasing your knowledge and understanding of the degree that you're studying. Now, I would say to you that it's best to organize this additional learning or this independent learning on a weekly or daily basis. It might be something that you sit down on a Sunday and plan out for the rest of the week, or even on a day-to-day basis. And I'll do another video about how to capture tasks to keep yourself organized. Now, you'll find in lectures, a lot of the time there might be additional reading, or tutors might be saying to you, if you want more information, go and see this or read that, or this was a quote from somebody, and you might want to go and look at these in your own time. And this is when you would capture that task and pop it into your calendar. Now, what you will do then is go to your calendar and say, right, look, I've got this 2-hour break here. I'm going to use an hour of it in the library, and you will put a little slot in there, write it in or type in an event that will put that together and sort of like says, this time is now dedicated to learning. Now try to be really specific about these. Sorry about the noise, it's just my Outlook going off. Try to be specific about the content of these sessions. If you put a slot in for say an hour to work in the library, add something to it, either in the notes or in the title, that is actually telling you what you're going to do. So it might be go to the library and read this chapter of this book, or it might be go to the library and make notes from this presentation. Now, the reason I say that to you is that this will prevent you going to the library and wasting the time. A lot of the time people arrive in the library, sit down and think, right, I'm going to work for 2 hours, and then sit around thinking, what am I actually going to do? And then that's when distractions happen, and you see somebody you know, or you're looking at Facebook or watching the latest YouTube videos like this one maybe. But anyway, yeah, so make sure you try to be specific and say, I'm going to do this task then. Now, the other thing that you can put in is group work as well. And if you're having to work with a group, then this is really important to get your heads together and put a time in and prioritize this over other things. Because remember, you want to come across professional as well, in the sense that you don't want to be that person that is always cancelling meetings because they've got to work. Put them in, and then you will find then that you don't have to keep all that information in your head. You actually know that you're going to go and talk to this group at this point and do some work. So the more specific you are with these tasks, the better. Now, like I said, I will talk at a later date about capturing tasks and how I do that and how you can do that to actually help you keep organized. Now, one thing I have to say at this point, university is not just about learning. There's a lot of social interactions, parties, meeting new people, etc., etc. And it is really important that you do actually plan time for these. You know, don't think that you're just there to learn and do nothing else. You are there for other reasons as well. So make sure that you put into your calendar times that you're going to go to the gym, whether or not you're going to go to a party or social events going out. And also don't forget to plan time for lunch or evening meal if you're still at university. Some universities go to 8 o'clock, so put in times for meals and breaks. And it might feel that you're just literally going from one thing to another, but it allows you to get an overview of the time, and then you know that after, you know, when you finish the session and it says, oh, you're going to the library, and you might think, I'm a bit hungry, you'll notice that, oh, I've only got an hour in the library, then I'm off for lunch. And so it'll help you sort of like keep up to date. Now, the other thing that I will say is that please do not be inflexible. Sometimes you might plan something and then somebody says, let's go out here, and you should be able to say, yeah, of course. You know, don't start saying, sorry, I'm going to the library then. But then take that time and slot it in somewhere else in your calendar, so you can actually see that you're still going to do that activity, but it's somewhere else. And that's it for this video. I hope it's been helpful, and if you would like me to cover anything else, then please do add it to the comments below, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and press that bell button so you get a notification when I'm live next. Now, please also remember, if you have any questions, then I can answer them by all means in a generic fashion, so please do add them in the comments below. So until next time, have fun and happy learning. This is Waffling Wilson, signing out.